Every child has a different learning style and pace. Each child is unique, not only capable of learning but also capable of succeeding. Hello everyone. Today I am Munish from B.Ed Special Education in Learning Disability, proudly on the behalf of Army Institute of Education, Greater Noida. In this presentation, we'll be dealing with National Policies for Person with Disabilities 2006, Facilitating Inclusive Education. National Policy for Person with Disabilities 2006. This policy outlines specific measures and strategies for ensuring protection of rights of persons with disabilities and their inclusion in the society. Let's start with the introduction. The Government of India formulated the National Policy for Persons with Disabilities in February 2006, which deals with physical, educational, and economic rehabilitation of persons with disabilities. This policy was formed on 10th February 2006, and this policy comes under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and it came into force to ensure the interests and rights of disabled persons. The National Policy for Persons with Disability 2006 treat person with disabilities as equal important person and needed for the development of the country in every aspects, and to create environment which help them to participate in the society equally. In addition, the policy also focuses upon rehabilitation of women and children with disabilities, barrier-free environment, social security, research, etc. The motive of this policy was to ensure and enhance the inclusive education and equal rights for everyone as said in our constitution. The national policy recognizes that persons with disabilities are valuable human resource for the country and seeks to create an environment that provides them equal opportunities, protection of their rights and full participation in the society. This policy recognizes that the persons with disabilities constitute a valuable human resource for the country and that a majority of such persons can lead a better quality of life if they have equal opportunities and effective access to rehabilitation measure. The government, with a view to create an environment that provides such persons equal opportunities for protection of their rights and full participation in the society. Previous efforts like Persons with Disability Act 1995, which provides equal opportunities, protection of rights, and full participation. Then we have in 1992 RCI Act, Rehabilitation Council of India Act, came to ensure the rehabilitation of persons with disabilities. Then we have National Trust Act for the welfare of persons with autism, cerebral palsy, mental retardation, and Multiple Disability Act 1999. This policy majorly focuses on prevention of disabilities, rehabilitation measure, women with disabilities, children with disabilities, barrier-free environment, issuing of disability certificates, social security, promotion of non-governmental organizations, collections of regular information on person with disability, research and sports, recreation and cultural life. Now, prevention of disabilities. Since disability in a large number of cases is preventable, the policy lays a strong emphasis on the prevention of diseases which results in disability and the creation of the awareness regarding measures to be taken for the prevention of disabilities during the period of pregnancy. Preventions can be done at three levels: primary prevention, secondary prevention, tertiary prevention. Primary prevention involves action taken prior to the onset of disease or disability, which will remove the possibility that a disease or disability will occur. In secondary prevention, it includes actions which halts the progress of the disease or the disability at its incipient stage and prevents complication. The specific interventions are early diagnosis and adequate treatment. In tertiary prevention, all the measures available to reduce or limit impairments and disabilities and minimize suffering caused by existing disability. This phase is also called rehabilitation, which includes physical, psychosocial, and vocational measures taken to restore the patient back to normal or near normal condition. It is extremely important that women under adequate and effective preventive measures during their pregnancy and immediate postnatal period, and also for their children, especially during the early childhood period. Rehabilitation measures. Rehabilitation measures can be classified into three distinct groups. First, physical rehabilitation, which includes early detection and intervention, counseling and medical interventions, and provisions of aids and appliances. It will also include development of rehabilitation professionals. Second, educational rehabilitation, including vocational training. And third, economic rehabilitation for a dignified life in society. We'll discuss these in details. First is physical rehabilitation. It includes early detection and intervention. It also includes counseling and medical rehabilitation and assistive devices. Second, education for persons with disability. Education is the most effective vehicle of social and economic empowerment. In keeping with the spirit of Article 21A of the Constitution guaranteeing education as a fundamental right and Section 26 of the Person with Disability Act 1995, free and compulsory education has to be provided to all the children with disabilities up to the minimum age of 18 years. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, launched by the government, has the goal of 8 years of elementary schooling for the children, including children with disabilities in the age group of 6 to 14 years by 2010. Children with disabilities in the age group of 15 to 18 years are provided free education under Integrated Education for Disabled Children IEDC scheme. And third is economic rehabilitation of persons with disability. Economic rehabilitation of persons with disabilities comprise of both wage employment in organized sector and self-employment. Women with disabilities. According to the census 2001, there are 93.01 lakh women with disabilities, which constitute 42.46% of total disabled population. Women with disabilities require protection against exploitation and abuse. Special programs will be developed for education, employment, and providing of other rehabilitation services to women with disabilities, keeping in view their special needs. The government will encourage the projects where representation of women with disabilities is ensured at least to the extent of 25% of total beneficiaries. It has been noted that women with disabilities have serious difficulty in looking after their children. Special educational and vocational training facilities should be provided to them so that they can easily earn their livelihoods and do their work independently. Children with disabilities. Children with disabilities are the most vulnerable group and need special attention. The government would strive to first ensure right to care, protection and security for children with disabilities. Second, ensure the right to development with dignity and equality, creating an enabling environment where children can exercise their rights, enjoy equal opportunities, and full participation in accordance with the various status. Third, ensure inclusion and effective access to education, health, vocational training, along with specialized rehabilitation services to children with disabilities. Fourth, ensure the right to development as well as recognition of special needs and of care and protection of children with severe disabilities. Barrier free environment. Barrier free environment enables people with disabilities to move about safely and freely and use the facilities within the built environment. The goal of barrier free design is to provide an environment that supports the independent functioning of individuals so that they can participate without assistance in everyday activities. Therefore, to maximum extent possible, buildings, places, transportation systems for public use will be made barrier free. This is the most important objective of National Policy 2006 to create barrier free environment so that the persons with disabilities can go independently and do any kind of work easily. For that, infrastructure and facilities should be there. Issuing disability certificate. The Government of India has notified guidelines for evaluation of the disabilities and procedures for certification. The government will ensure that the persons with disability obtain the disability certificates without any difficulty in the shortest possible time by adoption of simple, transparent, and client friendly procedures. Social Security. Disabled persons, their families, and caregivers incur substantial additional expenditure for facilitating activities of daily living, medical care, transportation, assistive devices, etc. Therefore, there is a need to provide them social security by various means. Central government has been providing tax relief to persons with disabilities and their guardians. The state governments, union territories administration have been providing unemployment allowance or disability pension. The state government will be encouraged to develop a comprehensive social security policy for persons with disability. Parents of severely disabled person with autism, cerebral palsy, mental retardation and multiple disabilities feel a sense of insecurity regarding the welfare of their wards after their death. National Trust for Persons with Autism, Cerebral Palsy, Mental Retardation and multiple disabilities have been providing legal guardians through local level committee. They are also implementing the supported guardianship scheme to provide financial security to persons with the above mentioned severe disabilities who are destitute and abandoned by supporting the cost of guardianship. The scheme, which is presently implemented in a few districts, shall be expanded to cover other areas in phased manner. Promotions of non-governmental organizations. The national policy recognizes the NGO sector as a very important institutional mechanism to provide affordable services to the complement the endeavors of the government. The NGO sector is a vibrant and growing one. It has played a significant role in the provisions of services for persons with disabilities. Some of the NGOs are also undertaking human resource development and research activities. Government has also been actively involving them in policy formulation, planning, implementation, monitoring, and has been seeking their advice on various issues relating to persons with disabilities. NGOs will be encouraged to develop and adopt minimum standard codes of conduct and ethics. NGOs will be provided opportunities for orientation and training of their human resources. Training and management skill, which is already being provided, will be strengthened. Transparency, accountability, procedural simplification, etc., will be guiding factors for improvement in NGO government partnership. Collection of regular information on persons with disabilities. There is a need for regular collection, compilation, and analysis of data relating to socio-economic conditions of persons with disabilities. The National Sample Survey Organization has been collecting information on socio-economic conditions of persons with disabilities on regular basis once in 10 years since 1981. The census has also started collection of information on persons with disabilities from the census 2001. The National Sample Survey Organization will have to collect the information on persons with disability at least once in 5 years. A comprehensive website for persons with disability will be created under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Organizations both in public and private sector will be encouraged to make their websites accessible to visually impaired using screen reading technologies. Research. For improving the quality of life of persons with disabilities, research will be supported on their socio-economic and cultural context, causes of disabilities, early childhood education methodologies, development of user-friendly aids and appliances, and all matter connected with disabilities, which will significantly alter the quality of their life and civil society's ability to respond to their concerns. Wherever persons with disabilities are subjected to research interventions, their or their family members or caregivers' consent is mandatory. Sports, recreation, and cultural life. The contribution of sports for its therapeutic and community spirit is undeniable. Persons with disabilities have right to access sports, recreation, and cultural facilities. The government will take necessary steps to provide them opportunities for participation in various sports, recreation, and cultural activities. Inclusion is not a strategy to help people fit into the systems and structures which exist in our society. It is about transforming those systems and structures to make it better for everyone. Inclusion is about creating a better world for everyone. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.